Hi, my name is Miranda and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we are going over the absolute basics of crochet, which is a single crochet. This is for when I'm teaching classes in person, so I don't have a pattern that corresponds to this directly, but this is just the basic of a single crochet. Make sure you hit that subscribe if you're not already, and let's get started.
To start off, we are going to do a slip knot, which how I like to do it is you lay the string in your hand over all four fingers, and then you wrap it around twice on your top finger. So then what you're going to do is you're going to take your left loop and bring it over your right loop, but still keep it on your finger, and then take your left loop, bring it all the way over, and there is a slip knot. Put your hook through. This is your tail end or the shorter end, so you pull your tail end, and then you can get started. The next part is our chain stitch. There are two different ways you can do your chain stitch. Essentially, all you're doing with the chain stitch is you're looping around your thread or your yarn, so you have two on the hook, and then you're bringing the bottom one over the top. You can do it working with the holding the yarn like this and having your hook move through. So you just so you hook the yarn, keep it under that hook, and bring the top one under like that. So that is more traditional crochet, where you are using the hook to grab the yarn and bring it under the bottom loop, grab the yarn, bring it under the bottom loop, like that. So that's option number one, and that is more traditional. And then you can see you are getting your chain stitch. If you pull out your yarn, it's called frogging. I don't know the history behind it, but that's what it is. There's another way you can do it, which is closer to English knitting style, and that's what I'm going to be showing you today, is you loop it, and then you bring the bottom one over the top. You loop it, bottom over the top. Loop, bottom over top. So it doesn't matter what way you do it, option one or option two. Just do it all the same way consistently. So we're going to do 20 chain stitches, or 21 chain stitches. There we have 21 chain stitches. So now you can see right there that this is what our chain stitch looks like up close. And so for this next part, you want to make sure your chain stitch stays flat and it's not twisting as you're working in it. But now we're going to go backwards. And so the reason why we did 21 chain stitches, we did 20 stitches and then one to jump up. That'll make sense when I go to the next row, but what we're going to do is we are going to skip the first chain stitch. So that means skip this first loop right here, and we're going to go under the second. And so each chain, you can see that there's a little V right there. So we're going to go under the top V. So you'll go under, loop, you'll bring that first loop under only the second one like this. So then you have two on your hook, and then you're going to loop, and you'll bring that top one underneath the bottom two, like that. So we just went in this V because you can see that's where the yarn is pulling up. So now we'll try it again. We'll go in the second V. So you go under, loop, under the second, you'll have two on your hook, loop, and back. One more time. You can see that this is the one that we just were working in, because if you tug, you can see. So we will go under the next V. So you'll go under, loop, back, two on your hook, loop, and back. So we will do this all the way until the end, and I will meet you here. When you get to the last one on your hook, we are still going to do a single crochet like we've been doing. And then after you are done there, you are going to add one chain stitch and then turn your work, and then you will keep going. So then you will skip that chain stitch that you just did, and then you will start single crocheting down this way. So the chain stitch just helps us jump to the next row and keep our edges nice and straight. So we will skip that chain stitch and we will go under the next. So now, after you've done one row, you can see the tops, you have those nice little V's again. So this time we will be doing single crochets under both the V's. So I'll show you what I mean. So you're gonna go under right here, And you can see that's under both of the V's. So we'll go under, loop, back, 2 on your hook, loop, and back. And so you will just continue doing this, and then you will add 1 chain stitch when you get to the end, turn your work, and then flip over. And this will help you practice repetition and getting those edges nice and cleaned up. And once you can do a single crochet, you can jump up to anything. So I'm going to do a couple rows in single crochet. So you'll just keep doing single crochet and practicing going back and forth. And it might seem mundane, but if you can figure out that, then you can figure out this is a half double crochet rib stitch. This is moss stitch. You can do granny squares. So after you learn the single crochet, this is a single crochet and chain stitch. It's called moss stitch. And I make small things like this for my daughters to use for their dolls and toys. And we have a lot of different ones around the house. When you get to the end of your project, or you just have a little bit of yarn left, we're gonna finish through. Make sure that you don't drop any stitches by not going all the way to the end. So if you see here, my edges are nice and straight. That is what we want. So the biggest mistake people usually make is that they would consider this stitch right here their last stitch, and then they would turn. But what you can do is the quote unquote, what I call the window test. So if you put your finger parallel to the sides and then your hook parallel to the top, you see how there's still like a slight window right there? That means you still have 1 more stitch to go into. Hey, Maisie. Shh. So we will finish up that. Shh. Maisie. And then to finish your project, you're just gonna do 1 more chain stitch like that. And then you will cut your string and pull through. But I will show you how to weave in the ends, and then you are done. I am going to use this I'm just gonna give it to my daughters and let them play with it, but I assume they'll use it as either a baby blanket for one of their toys or a little rug in their dollhouse. You will take your needle and then your threader, and you put the threader through, and then you take the yarn, put it through the threader like that, and then you just slide the needle onto it. And when you're weaving in the ends, we are just hiding them. So I'm gonna go through like here. And you can pull that through. And then you can cut your end like that. And then do it on the other side, and then you are done.